seriously, we need to try this. This is our lick, man. We got some peanut butter on there. Look at how sad he is to get in the bath. He is sad, miserable dog. And
arrive on the school train. Harry spun around.
Alberto!
There, his black robes rippling in a cold breeze, stood Severus Snape. He was a thin man with sallow skin, a hooked nose, and greasy, shoulder-length black hair. And at this moment, he was smiling in a way that told Harry he and Ron were in very deep trouble. "Follow me," said Snape, not daring even to look at each other. Harry and Ron followed Snape up the steps in the vast, echoing entrance hall, which was lit with flaming torches. A delicious smell of food wafted from the great hall, but Snape lit the flame down a narrow staircase and led in, he said, opening a door halfway down the cold passageway of midnight. They entered Snape's office, shivering. The shadowy walls were lined with shelves of large glass jars, in which floated all manner of revolting things Harry didn't really want to know the name of at this moment. The fireplace was dark and empty. Snape closed the door and turned to look at them. "So," he said softly, "the train isn't good enough for the famous Harry Potter and his faithful sidekick Weasley. Wanted to arrive at the bank, did we, boys?" "No, sir. It was a barrier at King's Cross. Silence," said Snape coldly. "What have you done with the car?" Ron gulped. This wasn't the first time Snape had given Harry the impression of being able to read minds, but a moment later he understood, as Snape unrolled today's issue of the Evening Prophet. "You were seen," he hissed, showing them the headline, "Flying Forward Angular Mystifies Muggles." He began to read aloud. "Two Muggles in London convinced they saw an old car flying over the post office tower at noon in Norfolk. Miss Hetty Bayliss, while hanging out her washing. Mr. Angus Wheaton, able to place 6 or 7 Muggles. I believe your father working with the use of my glass," he said, looking up at Ron and smiling still more nastily. "Dear, his own son." Harry felt as though he had been walloped in the stomach by one of the mad tree's larger branches. If anyone found out Mr. Weasley had bewitched the car, he hadn't thought of that. "I noticed, in the search of the park, that considerable damage seems to have been done to a very valuable Whomping willow," Snape went on. "That tree did more damage to us than we," Ron blurted out. "Silence," Snape again. "Most unfortunately, you were not in my house, and the decision to expel you does not rest with me. I shall go and fetch people. Who do you have there?" People were here. Harry and Ron stared at each other, white-faced. Harry didn't feel hungry anymore. He now felt extremely sick. He tried not to look at the large, slimy something suspended in green liquid on a shelf behind Snape's desk. If Snape had gone to fetch Professor McGonagall, head of Gryffindor House, they were hardly any better off. She might be fairer than Snape, but she was still extremely strict. 10 minutes later, Snape returned, and sure enough, it was Professor McGonagall who accompanied him. Harry had seen Professor McGonagall angry on several occasions, but either he had forgotten or just how thin her mouth would go. He had never seen her this angry. She raised her wand the moment she entered. Harry and Ron both flinched, but she merely pointed it at the empty fireplace. The flame suddenly erupted. "Sit," she said, and they both backed into chairs by the fire. "Explain," she said, her glasses glitting ominously. Ron launched her story, starting with the barrier at the station, refusing to let them through. "So we had no choice, Professor. We couldn't get on the train. Why didn't you send us a letter by Al? I believe you have an Al," Professor McGonagall said coldly to Harry. Harry gaped at her. Now she said it. That seemed the obvious thing to have done. I didn't think that," said Professor McGonagall. "It's obvious." There was a knock at the office door, and Snape, now looking happier than ever, opened it. There stood the headmaster, Professor Dumbledore. Harry's whole body went numb. Dumbledore was looking unusually grave. He stared down his very crooked nose at him, and Harry suddenly found himself wishing he and Ron were still being beaten up by the Whomping Willow. There was a long silence. Then Dumbledore said, "Please explain how you did this." It would have been better if he had shouted. Harry hated the disappointment in his voice. For some reason, he was unable to look Dumbledore in the eyes, and spoke instead to his knees. He told Dumbledore everything except that Mr. Weasley owned the bewitched car, making it sound as though he and Ron happened to find a flying car parked outside the station. He knew Dumbledore would see through this at once, but Dumbledore asked no questions about the car. When Harry had finished, Merely expected. With a sort of voice. What are you talking about, Weasley? Barked Professor McGonagall. Well, you're expelling us, aren't you? Said Ron. Harry looked quickly at Dumbledore. Not today, Weasley, said Dumbledore. But I must impress upon both of you the seriousness of what you have done. I will be writing to both your families tonight. I must also warn you that if you do anything like this again, I will have no choice but to expel you. Snape looked as though Christmas had been cancelled. Clearly spoken said, Professor Dumbledore, these boys have floated the decree for the restriction of underage wizardry, cause serious damage to an old and valuable tree. Surely acts of this nature. It will be for Professor McGonagall to decide on these boys. Punishment, Severus, said Dumbledore calmly. They are in her house, and are therefore her responsibility. He turned to Professor McGonagall. I must go back to the feast, Minerva. I've got to give out a few notices. Come, Severus. There's a delicious-looking custard tart I want to sample. Snape shot on a pure venom at Harry and Ron. He allowed himself to swept out of his office, leaving them alone with Professor McGonagall, who was still eyeing them like a...
There's a fucking car.
Weasley, you're bleeding. Not much, said Ron hastily, whacking the cut over his eye with his sleeve. Professor, I want to know what happens to being sorted. The sorting ceremony is over, said Professor McGonagall. Your sister is also in Gryffindor. Oh, good, said Ron. And speaking of Gryffindor, Professor McGonagall said sharply, Harry did, Professor, took the card and the star. So Gryffindor shouldn't really have anything away from it, should it? Miss Vanderbilt looked anxiously. Professor McGonagall gave him a piercing look, but he was sure she had almost smiled. Her mouth looked less fit anyway.
The fuck? Stop standing there. I can walk. I can walk. I can fucking walk.
I will not take any points from Gryffindor, she said. Harry's heart lightened considerably, but you will both get a detention. It was better than Harry had expected. As for Dumbledore's writing to the Dursleys, that was nothing. Harry knew perfectly well they'd just be disappointed that the Whomping Willow hadn't squashed him flat. Professor McGonagall raised her wand again and pointed it at Snape's desk. A large plate of sandwiches, 2 silver goblets, and a jug of iced pumpkin juice appeared with a pop. You will eat in here, and then go straight up to your dormitory, she said. I must also return to the feast. When the door closed behind her, Ron let out a long, low whistle. I thought we had it, he said, grabbing a sandwich. So did I, said Harry, taking one too. Can you believe our luck, though? Said Ron thickly, through a mouthful of chicken and ham. Fred and George must have blown that 5 or 6 times, and no one ever saw it. He swallowed, and took another huge bite. Why couldn't we get through the barrier? Harry shrugged. We have to watch our step from now on, though, he said, taking a grateful swig of pumpkin juice. Wish we could have gone up to the feast. She didn't want us showing off, said Ron sagely. Doesn't want people to think it's clever arriving by a flying car. When they had eaten as many sandwiches as they could, the plate kept refilling itself, they rose and left the office, treading the familiar path to Gryffindor Tower. The castle was quiet. It seemed that the feast was over.
And rest your soul.
Past,
You must be the big bad man my granddaddy been chatting about. Tell the things about you know, when he visits and about the others who wait for you. Now we are dead from long time, but you, I wouldn't want to be in your shoes. Can you hear them? Them calling your name, boy, must want you pretty bad, don't you think? Now you do all and Nicolea Turner, maybe she will help you. Maybe she can give you a little juju after all of this. Give you some magic to give the lawman this thing.
Someone said you'd been expelled from crashing a flying car. Well, we hadn't been expelled.
I think I got the wrong address.
You're not telling me you did fly here, said Hermione, sounding almost as severe as Professor McGonagall.
The nasty
Skip the lecture, said Ron impatiently, and tell us a new password.
Been making my boys shit their heads. Now they told the policeman where me been stashing my powder. Do you think it grows? Them stupid.
And there was a sudden
now
storm of
be a good
clapping.
boy, Tommy.
It looked as though the whole of Gryffindor house was still awake, sat in a circular common room, standing at the lopsided tables and squashy armchairs, waiting for them to arrive. Arms reached through the portrait hole to pull Harry and Ron inside, leaving Hermione to scramble in after them. Brilliant, yelled Lee Jordan. Inspired. What an entrance. Flying a car right into a walking willow. People will be talking about that on TV. Good for you, said a fifth year. Harry had never spoken to. Someone was patting him back, as though he'd just won a marathon. Red and Blue moved their way to the front of the crowd and said together, "Why couldn't you have called us back, huh?" Ron was scarlet in the face, grinning embarrassedly. One person who didn't look happy at all. Percy was visible over the heads of some excited first years, and he seemed to be trying to get near enough to start telling them off. Harry nudged Ron in the ribs and nodded in Percy's direction. Ron got the point at once. "Got to get upstairs. Bit tired," he said, and the two of them started pushing their way towards the door on the other side of the room, which led to a spiral staircase and the dormitories.
Don't move a muscle,
"Night,"
chump.
Harry called back to Hermione, who was wearing a scowl just like Percy's. They managed to get to the other side of the common room, still having their backs slapped, and gained the peace of the staircase. They
The
hurried
fuck's the car?
right to the top, and at last reached the door of their old dormitory, which now had a sign on it saying second class.
Oh, there we did it.
Its 5 foot posters hung, belt, its high mirrors. Their trunks had been brought up for them and placed at the end of their beds. Ron grinned guiltily at Harry. I know I shouldn't have enjoyed that or anything, but the dormitory door flung open, and in came another second grade voice. Seamus Finnegan, Dean Thomas, and Neville Longbottom. "Unbelievable," beamed Seamus. "Cool," said Dean. "Amazing," said Neville. "Extreme." Harry couldn't help it. He grinned too. Chapter 6. Gilderoy Lockhart. The next day, however, Harry had barely grinned once. Things started to
Goddamn.
great cool. The 4-legged house tables were laid with terrific porridge, plates of kippers, mountains of toast, dishes, eggs and bacon. Beneath the enchanted ceiling, today a dull cloudy grey, Harry and Ron sat down for a able to admire their copy of Voyages with Vampires propped up against the wall. There was a slight stiffness in the way she said good morning, which told him that she was
Goddamn.
the way they had arrived. Neville Longbottom greeted them cheerfully. Neville was around.
Goddamn. Goddamn. Oh shit.
I think Grant's sending a few things I forgot. Sure enough, there was a rushing sound overhead, and 100 or so pounds streamed in, circling the hall, dropping letters into the chattering crowd. A big, lumpy parcel bounced off Neville's head, and a second later, something large and grey fell into Hermione's jug.
Sorry, I must
Spraying
have
the
the
hall
wrong
with milk.
Well, you might as well come in and rest your souls and have some tea. Do you have something there for me,
They're all
Tommy?
slumped, unconscious, onto the table. His legs in
Place
the air,
feels familiar
and a
to
damp
me.
red envelope in his
That
beak.
smell from childhood, a deja vu.
Now, Tommy, I'm going to whisper a little errand for you. Hear me well, aye?
Unconscious, onto the
You
table.
look like
His
someone
legs in the air, and a
Them
damp
have
red
fast
envelope in his
boats they
beak.
use to cross the seas with
Oh no.
drugs. It is their
It's
livelihood.
alright, he's still alive, said
Me
Hermione,
nephew been
poking
making
Errol
little
gently with
flying
the tip of
bombs
her
to
finger.
take them out.
It's not that. It's
Blow the boats to coffin wood.
Ron was pointing at the red envelope. It looked quite ordinary to Harry, but Ron and Neville were both looking at it as though they'd expected it to explode. "What's the matter?" said Harry. She sent me a howler," said Ron faintly. "You'd better open it, Ron," said Neville in a timid whisper. "It'll be worse if you don't. My gran sent me one once, and I ignored it and..." He gulped. "It was horrible." Harry looked with their petrified faces to the red envelope. "What's a howler?" he said. But Ron's whole attention was fixed on the letter, which had begun to smoke at the corners. "Open it," Neville urged. "It'll all be over in a few minutes." Ron stretched out a shaking hand, eased the envelope from Errol's beak, and slid it open. Neville stuffed his fingers in his ears. A split second later, Harry knew why. He thought for a moment it had exploded. A roar of sound filled the huge hole, shaking dust from the ceiling. "Stealing the car? I wouldn't have been surprised if they'd expelled you. You wait till I get hold of you. I don't suppose you stopped to think what your father and I went through when we saw it had gone?" Miss Weasley's yells, 100 times louder than usual, made the plates and spoons rattle on the table and echoed deafeningly off the stone walls. People throughout the hall were swiveling around to see who had received the howler, and Ron sank so low in his chair that only his crimson forehead could be seen. "The letter from Dumbledore last night. I thought your father would die of shame. We didn't bring you up to behave like this. You and Harry could have both died." Harry had been wondering when his name was going to crop up. He tried very hard to look as though he could reveal the grief that was making his eardrums cry. "Absolutely disgusted. Your father's facing an inquiry at work. It's entirely your fault, and if you put another toe out of line, we'll bring you straight back home." A ringing silence fell. The red envelope, which had dropped from Ron's hand, burst into flames and curled into ashes. Harry and Ron sat stunned, as though a tidal wave had just passed over them. A few people laughed, and gradually, the babble of talk broke out again. Hermione closed Voyages of Vampires and looked down at the top of Ron's head. "Well, I don't know what you were expecting, Ron, but you don't tell me I deserved it," snapped Ron. Harry pushed his porridge away. His insides were burning with guilt. Mr. Weasley was facing an inquiry at work. After all Mr. and Mrs. Weasley had done for him over the summer, he had no time to dwell on this. Professor McGonagall was moving along the Gryffindor table, handing out timetables. Harry took keys and saw that they had double herbology with the Hufflepuffs first. Harry, Ron, and Hermione left the castle together, crossed the vegetable patch, and made for the greenhouses, where the magical plants were kept. At least the Howler had done one good thing. Hermione seemed to think they had now been punished him, and was being perfectly friendly with him. As they neared the greenhouses, they saw the rest of the class standing outside, waiting for Professor Sprout. Harry, Ron, and Hermione had only just joined them when she came striding into view across the lawn, accompanied by Gilderoy Lockhart. Professor Sprout's arms were full of bandages. With another twinge of guilt, Harry spotted a walking willow in the distance, several of its branches out in swings. Professor Sprout, with a score little whip, wore a hat over her flyaway hair. There was usually a large amount of earth and a fingernail would only half a finger faint. Gilderoy Lockhart was immaculate in sweeping robes of turquoise, and golden hair shining like a eagle fishing turquoise hand with gold trimming. "Oh, hello there," Lockhart called, beaming around at the assembled students. "Just been showing Professor Sprout the right way to doctor a walking willow. I don't want you running away with the idea that I'm better at herbology than she is. I just happen to have met several of these exotic plants in my travels." "Greenhouse free today, chaps," said Professor Sprout. He was looking distinctly disgruntled, not at all her usual cheerful self. There was a murmur of interest, and only ever collected greenhouse free, alarmed and interested, dangerous plants. Professor Sprout took a large key from the belt and unlocked the door. Harry caught a whiff of damp earth and fertilizer, and mixed it with the heavy perfumes and giant rose-like flowers dangling from the ceiling. He was about to follow Ron and Hermione inside when Lockhart's hand shot out. "Harry, I've been wanting a word. You don't mind if you're a couple minutes late, do you, Professor Sprout?" Judging by Professor Sprout's scowl, she did mind, but Lockhart said, "That's the ticket," and closed the greenhouse door in her face. "Harry," said Lockhart, the large white teeth gleaming in the sunlight and he shook his head. Harry, with me, Harry said nothing. "When I heard, well, of course, it was all my fault. I could have kicked myself." Harry had no idea what he was talking about. He was about to say so when Lockhart went on. "Don't know when I've been more shocked. Flying a car to Hogwarts? Well, of course, I knew at once why you'd done it. Stood out a mile. Harry. It was remarkable how he could show every one of those brilliant pieces he was. Gave you a taste for publicity, didn't I?" said Lockhart. "Gave you the bug. You got onto the front page of the paper with me. I'm going to do it again." No, Professor. See, Harry, said Lockhart, reaching out and grasping his shoulder. "I understand. It's natural to want a bit more once you've had your first taste."
Do you have any bad habits?
"No."
Do you always hang around?
"No."
Do you often stay out all night and not reply to messages?
"No, never."
You see, this is the good man you want. Look at him. You could spend your whole life with him.
"Nowhere to go now?"
Get in the car. Download that whole play for free.
Mm-mm.
Arrow is so easy. AI built me a website in minutes. Asshole with passive aggressive opinions. Oh, I run a website building genius. It's a dream. I'm like working with this this is really good help my business. Once you had your first phase, I like putting myself make things bounce pretty quiet. But see here, you can't start flying fast to try and get yourself back.
Bon voyage.
Plenty of time to talk about when you're wrong. Yes, yes, I can use this. It's alright for him. He's an internationally famous wizard already. When I was 12, I was just as much of a nobody as you are now. In fact, I'd say I was even more of a nobody. I mean, if you've not heard of you, with that little you name, you can answer the line yourself.
You nearly killed me, man.
I know. It's not quite as good as winning Which Weekly's Most Charming Smile award 5 times in a row, as I have. But it's a start.
Hello?
Harry, it's a start.
I'm looking for somebody around
Gave
here.
Harry
You're looking hungry, Tommy.
Harry
Do
stood
I know
stunned for a
you?
few seconds.
Hush
Then
now.
remembering he was supposed
One
to
more
be
thing and I
he
can let
opened the
you
door
go,
and slid
Tommy.
inside. Professor Sprout
My
was standing
boys
behind
gone
the
war
trestle
with
bench
them boys,
set
but
to the
no
green.
guns.
About 20 pairs of different colored earmuffs were lying on
While
the
they
bench.
fight in the
When Harry
streets,
had
we will
taken his
take
place
this
in front
rifle.
of Hermione,
No one
he said,
sees you,
"We'll be
no one
refilling
hears you.
mandrakes today. Now, who can tell me the properties of a
Now, Tommy,
mandrake?"
you do
Nobody's
this for me,
surprised.
and
Hermione's
you no
hand
longer
burst
tied to
into
my
the air.
apron string.
Mandrake,
Okay,
or
Andy.
mandragora, is a powerful restorative, said Hermione, sounding as usual as though she had swallowed the textbook. It is used to return people who have been transfigured or cursed to their original state. Excellent. Mr. Gryffindor, said Professor Sprout. The mandrake forms an essential part of most antidotes. It is also, however, dangerous. Who can tell me why? Hermione's hand narrowly missed Harry's glasses as it shot up again. The cry of the mandrake is fatal to anyone who hears it, she said promptly. Precisely. Take another 10 points, said Professor Sprout.
Oh, shit.
The mandrakes we have here are still very young. She pointed to a row of deep trays as she spoke, and everyone shuffled forward for a better look. Also, tufty little plants, purplish green in colour, were growing there in rows. They looked quite unremarkable to Harry, who didn't have the slightest idea what Hermione meant by the cry of the mandrake. Everyone take a pair of earmuffs, said Professor Sprout. There was a scramble as everyone tried to seize a pair that wasn't pink and fluffy. When I tell you to put them on, make sure your ears are completely covered, said Professor
My god, he has a sword.
It is safe to remove them. I will give you the thumbs up. Right? Earmuffs on. Harry snapped the earmuffs over his ears. They shut out sound completely. Professor Sprout, her main fluffy hair over her ears, rolled up the sleeves of her robes, grasped one of the puffy plants firmly, and pulled hard. Harry let out a gasp of surprise that no one could hear. Instead of roots, a small, muddy, and extremely ugly baby popped out of the earth. The leaves were growing right out of his head. He had pale green mottled skin, and was clearly falling to the top of his lungs. Professor Sprout took a large plant from the table and plunged the mandrake into it, burying it in dark, damp compost until only the tufted feathers were visible. Professor Sprout dusted off their hands, gave them all a thumbs up, and moved her own earmuffs. As our mandrakes are only seeing things, their cries won't kill you, she said calmly, as though she had just done nothing more exciting than water a begonia. They will knock you out for several hours, and I'm sure none of you want to miss your first day back. Make sure your earmuffs are securely in place when you work. I will attract your attention when it is time to post. Forward to a tray, there is a large supply of pots here. What post the sacks over there? Be careful of the venomous tentacular. It's teeming. She gave a sharp slap to a spiky, dark red plant as she spoke, making it draw in the long feelers that had been itching sneakily over her shoulder. Harry, Ron, and Hermione were joined at their tray by a curly-haired Hufflepuff boy, hurrying in sight, but had never spoken
Hey, lady!
Justin Finch.
You know what I'm gonna do?
He said
I'm
brightly,
going to make
shaking
love
Harry
like a
by the
man.
hand.
You know that, Chica? Something like this.
Nah.
Hey, baby! I wouldn't touch you with a 10-foot pole. Humberto Romina, he likes the ladies, not some goat in a skirt. Tommy, Tommy, I love you. I love you. Let's go.
Go where? Can I get a cup of coffee
No
first?
time for coffee. Besides, I just had one.
But he stayed cool. And
Tommy, how do you take on a snake?
my name was down for Eton.
You bite him in the ass.
I came here instead.
You go and get us a little coffee.
Slightly disappointed.
When you get it, come back and pick up my boy.
I think she'd begun to see
And
how
take them
useful it would be.
out to such and
Trained
such.
whistle.
Just processing plant.
After that,
Whatever
they
you
didn't
say,
have
Humberto.
Hey, Tommy,
the earmuffs
Tommy,
were back on.
use your
and
solvent as an
to threaten
explosive.
mandrakes.
Boom!
Mr. Sprout made it look
Bye-bye.
extremely easy, but it wasn't. The
Humberto.
mandrakes didn't
What
like
about
coming
you?
out of the air.
I'm going to stay behind and watch
But
over that
inside,
cafe with
wanted to go
Papa.
back into it
He's
either.
not feeling so
They
good.
squirmed,
You know?
kicked, flailed their sharp little fists,
Last thing I
and
needed
gnashed
was
their
this.
teeth.
Maybe the
Harry
last
spent
thing I
10
needed
more
was an
minutes
enema,
trying to squash
but
a
this comes
lickety
close.
fat one into a pot. By the end of the class, Harry, like everyone else, was sweaty, aching, covered in earth. They traipsed back to the castle for a quick wash, and then the Gryffindors hurried off to Transfiguration. As McGonagall's classes were always hard work, but today was especially difficult. Everything Harry had learned last year seemed to have leaked out of his head during the summer. He was supposed to.
That's good.
What he managed to do was give his beak a lot of exercise and settled over the desk.
Oh, you get the fuck out of my way. Wow. Alright, Pepe.
Let's go find our muchachos.
As it scuttled to the desk, Ron was having far worse problems. He had patched up his wand with some borrowed spello tape, but it seemed to be damaged beyond repair. It kept crackling, sparking at odd moments, and every time Ron tried to transfigure a beetle, it forgot it would take very slow, which smelled like rotten eggs. Unable to see what he was doing, Ron accidentally squashed his beetle with his elbow and had to ask for a new one. Miss McGonagall wasn't pleased. Harry was relieved to hear the lunch bell. His brain felt like a wrong response. Everyone filed out of the classroom except him and Ron, who was whacking each other furiously on the desk. Stupid, useless thing. Right home for another one, Harry suggested, as the one let off a volley of bangs. Oh yeah, get another howler back, said Ron, stuffing the now hissing wand into his bag. Is your own fault your wand got snapped? They went down to lunch, where Ron's food was not improved by Hermione showing them the perfect coat buttons she had produced in Transfiguration. All we got this afternoon, said Harry hastily, changing the subject. Defense against the dark arts, said Hermione at once. Demanded Ron, seizing her timeline. Have you outlined all Lockhart's lessons in little parts? Hermione snatched the timetable back, flushing furiously. They finished lunch and went outside to the overcast courtyard. Hermione sat down on a stone step and buried her nose in Voyages with Vampires again. Harry and Ron stood talking about Quidditch for several minutes before Harry became aware that he was being closely watched. Looking up, he saw the very small, mouse-eared boy he had been seen trying on the sorting hat last night, staring at Harry as though transfixed. He was clutching what looked like an ordinary Muggle camera, and the moment Harry looked up at him, he went bright red. All right, Harry, I'm calling Creevy, he said breathlessly, taking a tentative step forward. I'm a Gryffindor too. Will you be all right here? You've got a picture, he said, raising the camera hopefully. A picture? Harry repeated blankly. So I can protect you, clicked on Creevy, eagerly, edging further forwards. I know all about you. Everyone's told me about how you survived when, from King and how he disappeared and everything, and how you've still got a lightning scar on your forehead. His eyes raked Harry's hairline. And my daughter, he said, if I developed the film in the right motion, the pictures would move. Colin drew a great shuddering breath of excitement and said, it really appears that the hot stuff I could do was magic, but the left of had to look. He couldn't believe it either. So I'm taking loads of pictures to send home to him. And it'd be really good if I had my you. He looked imploringly at Harry. Maybe your friend can take
Get the fuck out of here!
You can sign it. And then, could you sign it? Signed photos? You're giving out signed photos, Copper. Loud and scathing, Draco Malfoy's voice echoed around the courtyard. He had stood right behind Colin, flanked, as he always was, by large, thuggish cronies. Whoa. Everyone queue up, Malfoy roared to the crowd. Harry Potter's giving out signed photos. No, I'm not, said Harry angrily, his fist clenching. Shut up, Malfoy. You're just jealous, piped up Colin, whose entire body was about as thick as Crab's neck. Jealous, said Malfoy. He didn't need to shout anymore. Of what? I don't want a foul scar across my head, thanks. I don't think getting your head cut open makes you that special myself. Malfoy was sniggering stupidly. Eat slugs, Malfoy, said Ron angrily. You stopped laughing and started rubbing Uncle Malfoy's. Be careful, Weasley, sneered Malfoy. You don't want to start any trouble, or your mummy will have to come and take you away from school. He put on a shrill, piercing voice. If you put another toe out of line. A lot of slivering 50-years nearby laughed loudly at this. Weasley would like a signed photo, Potter, spoke Malfoy. It'd be worth all these families' whole house. Ron whipped out his sellotape warning. Hermione shut voyages for vampires, and snapped and whispered, Look out! What's all this? What's all this? Gilderoy Lockhart was striding towards him, his turquoise robes swirling behind him. Who's giving out signed photos? Harry started to speak, but he was cut short as Lockhart flung an arm on his shoulders and bumped jovially. Shouldn't have asked. We need to get to Lockhart's side, burning with humiliation. Harry saw Malfoy and stepped smirking back into the crowd. Come on then, Mr. Creevy, said Lockhart, beaming at Colin. A double portrait. I'd say fairer than that. We'll both sign it for you. Colin fumbled for his camera and took the picture as the bell rang behind them, signaling the start of afternoon classes. Off you go, move along there. Lockhart called to the ground, and he set off back to the castle with Harry, who was wishing he had a good vanishing spell, still collapsed to his side. A word to the wise, Harry, said Lockhart paternally, as they entered the building through a side door. I covered up for you back there with young Creevy. If he was photographing me too, your schoolfellows won't think you're setting yourself up so much. Deaf to Harry's stammers, Lockhart swept him down a corridor, lined with staring students, and up a staircase. Let me just say that handing out signed pictures at this stage of your career isn't sensible. Looks a tad big-headed, Harry. To be frank, there may well come a time when, like me, you'll need to keep a stack handy wherever you go. But, he gave a little chortle, I don't think you're quite there yet. They had reached Lockhart's classroom, and he let Harry go at last. Harry yanked his coat straight, and headed for a seat at the very back of the class, where he'd been himself, piling up several of Lockhart's books on top, so that he could avoid looking at the real thing. The rest of the class came clattering in, and Ron Hermione sat down either side of Harry. You can throw an egg on your face, said Ron. You better hope Creevy doesn't meet Ginny. They'll be starting a Harry Potter fan club. Shut up, snapped Harry. It was for Lockhart to hear the phrase of Harry Potter fan club. When the whole class was seated, Lockhart cleared his throat out and silence fell. He reached forward.
That's when I found out how much money my friend was making with DoorDash. There are opportunities in over 40,000 cities. Signing up was super easy. And before long, I was already making deliveries. Now, I get to make my own schedule and keep 100% of my tips. Download the DoorDash driver app and get started today.
Want to keep your hairline where it is? Through Hims.com, you can explore a range of options that work best for you, so you can grow visibly thicker and fuller hair in just 3 to 6 months. Keep it looking strong for years to come with doctor-trusted ingredients like finasteride, minoxidil, and a blend of supplements that support healthy hair. 3 in 4 Hims customers say they wish they started using hair treatment earlier. Get ahead now to keep the hair you love. Get started today at Hims.com.
Spell. He reached forward, picked up Neville Longbottom's copy of Travels and Troubles, and held it up to show his own blinking portrait on the front.
I'm trying to figure out how the fuck to get out of here.
I didn't talk about that. I didn't get rid of the banshee by smiling at her. He waited for them to laugh.
Last thing I needed was this. Maybe the last thing I needed was an enema, but this comes close.
Well done. I thought we'd start today with a little quiz.
When you don't irritate me. No way.
You boss man?
You are walking the thinnest line.
Oye, let's go find our muchachos.
What, you don't see me, asshole?
Man, this is a nice part of town. These places are dumb, man. No, they do nice pizzas here. Whoa, man, you drive like a crazy bitch.
Hola, amigos. Oye, the summit is around the back, amigo. Bueno, putas. Muerte. Vamos.
Vamos indeed.
Follow my compadres.
Okay, in you go.
Well, need to put my phone on the charger. There must be a place. Oh shit.
I've had enough of you, asshole!
I want to be sure I find where the fuck to go. Alright, so it's over here. Thanks for standing guard, guys.
Run!
You bump into me? Ditch! You're all ditch! I don't want to hear that, Shorty. Isn't that what I want? Oye,
Thank you.
hope you got whiplash. Hey, man, that motherfucker! Move that piece of shit! Yo, you in my way, dog! Yo! Yo, move that!
Umberto Rubina.
Hey, how's the cafe?
Oh, wonderful. Incredible, Tommy. Incredible. No wimps, Tommy. Just real men. And the beautiful women. Anyway, I wanted to tell you, me and Papi, to us, you're Cuban. You have proved yourself, Ben. You got big cojones.
Well, thank you, Umberto. Nobody said that to me since I left jail. See you around.
I need help with food.
All right, Mus. I'm going to save your Vera, mate.
What the hell are you talking about?
You know that wanker Diaz, the bugle meister? He's got your boy lugs. Word is your mate tried to jump him. Didn't jump high enough, if you know what I mean.
Where did he take him?
All right,
In plain
mate.
English.
Keep your party on. They got him across town to the junkyard. Bloody hell, you nutter!
You are hardly worth robbing.
something against me? There goes my careful planning blown to shit. Thanks to you. You screwed up real good, Lance. He killed my brother. What do you expect me to do, mow his lawns? We're gonna have to take out that prick Diaz before he takes us out. You okay to use a gun?
Sure, I guess. Nice to see you too.
Let's get out of here.
Who you think you don't stand a chance, me? I'm paid muscles. Okay, amigo. Nobody screws with Diaz's man.
You have no fear. This is not what I was satisfied. I do not follow that. Do you have the powder? I bumped him off it. I know do I live.
Stupid idiota.
Alright.
I will tear up your neck.
Son of a bitch!
Alright, miss. I'm gonna sign your beer, mate. What the hell are you talking about?
You're a waste of space. What are you doing? Hey, stop!
I did. All these goddamn black people. I did. Oh damn it. It's just as goddamn bullshit. It's only goddamn niggers. Now I gotta drive my happy ass all the way back there.
Alright, miss. I'm gonna sign your beer, mate. What the hell are you talking about?
God damn it. And now I have the cops on me. Just what I fucking needed. No, we're taking the goddamn dump truck. Oh, the goddamn hood rat's gotta be standing right fucking there. At first, they're not here. Oh, now they are. I ain't met the right guy. Alright.
Get away from me!
If I have to fight the whole goddamn hood, plus these assholes, fine.
You gotta get a better job. There goes my careful planning blown to shit. Thanks to you. You screwed up real good, Lance. He killed my brother. What do you expect me to do, Lois Lawns? We're gonna have to take out that prick Diaz before he takes us out. You okay to use a gun?
Sure, I guess. Nice to see you too.
Let's get out of here.
Where's my goddamn car? There it is. Get in. God damn. They hit me real good. They're chasing the fucking comments. And using them to their fucking name. Run, 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 run. He said, God damn it!
Alright, Mush. I'm gonna save your beer, mate. What the hell are you talking about?
God damn that mission. God fucking damn. The Eagles are pieces of shit on this goddamn game. At least we know there's a fucking car. But what good is it whenever it gets fucking rammed by every single one of them pricks? Okay, good. There's no horde here. I want you to stop putting this fucking weapon away.
Let's discuss this like men with guns. annoy me.
Arms and then your legs.
There goes my careful planning blown to shit. Thanks to you. You screwed up real good, Lance. He killed my brother. What do you expect me to do, mow his lawns? We're gonna have to take out that prick Diaz before he takes us out. You okay to use a gun?
Sure, I guess. Nice to see you too.
Let's get out of here.
Move this piece of shit out of the way. God damn. God damn. Oh shit. Run, 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 run. Don't die, don't die, don't die. Oh, thank God.
What's going on?
Get in. What's in them goddamn comments? Come on. Oh, damn. Who this? I'm coming. Oh, guys, that's bad. For anything to happen right now. Because it would be bad. I'd be absolutely pissed. Because dodging those fucking comments ain't fun. May not be important to you, but getting this fucking video done means a lot to me. Where's the meat? I get that.
get patched up, and meet me on the bridge to Star Island, okay?
Okay, I got you.
Christmas shirt. Right, that's there. It's somewhere. Possibly be more important than I'm doing a video. I know that sounded stupid, but we get there, we save, we turn off the video. I know, like, get the fuck out of the goddamn way.
Get out of the way! You try to annoy me!
There's a plane in the sky. It was worth it. Because we had to fucking fuck with those damn comments again. I'd been pissed. I'm glad this thing ain't voice recorded. I've been in trouble. Fuck you.
You hit my gun! I hit your face!
Tommy, Tomas, it's Cortez. Look, the French are giving me all kinds of trouble, amigo. Them hypocrites. They spend 100 years stealing from poor countries, and they call me a thief, huh? I'm going to need your help as soon as possible, amigo. So please hurry, huh? Tommy, I need you, all right?
No.